Welcome to Monday on the show, Nikki.
Oh, another week.
A good weekend for you?
It was good. How was yours?
It was nice. You know, something I was thinking about, a nice thing about working at RadioU, I don't know if it's the same for you, but when I work at RadioU, I really don't have to worry about checking my work email over the weekend.
Oh, really?
Like you leave work on Friday
and you're done with it.
You really get a break.
I do not.
Oh, you don't? Well, yeah, I guess you were just telling me about that, weren't you?
I think the opposite.
You know, you should try it. You should try not checking your email.
I hear what you're saying, but how about we think of it as because I check mine, you don't have to check yours.
That's a good point.
So I'm here to help.
I think, you know what's crazy? What I was thinking is I really appreciate that about my role at RadioU, and so don't change it. Okay. But I appreciate that, and then I was thinking, like, if you go back in time, like before emails were around, you just, like, you left work and you were done.
Yeah,
right?
but would they have called you? Do you think that's what the case was?
Maybe, but they couldn't have. But the bar to send an email is much lower than the bar to to actually call somebody.
Sure.
Even back in the day. And I think that is that used to be, you know, obviously technology has changed a lot and a lot of good things have come from it. But I think that was a nice thing about being able to, and I'm not just talking about work, what about like school? Like it was good sometimes that back in the day before we were alive, before everybody had a phone or whatever, that you could leave school and if people were like picking on you, you could just go to your house
and escape.
Yeah, you could watch the Brady Bunch or something, whatever kids watched in the 70s. And you could watch that. You'd just not have to pay attention. You'd get a break. Now you don't get a break. You got your phone. You're always getting notifications. If somebody's talking smack about you on Instagram or whatever, you see it. You never get a break. And I think it's important for all of us to still get a break. So maybe it means turning your phone off. But what I definitely know is it means spending some time with God because God never takes a break from paying attention to you. He's always got his email turned on. He's always ready to go to pay attention to you. And he will be like, hey, come spend some time with me. Stop worrying about what everybody else is saying, all those pressures from work or school or whatever. Take a break from it. You don't have to be looking at your phone or getting notifications or worrying about what everybody else is saying or asking of you all the time. And that's something that God can help you with.
A break over the negative stuff over the weekend.
Yeah, you should try it out, Nikki.
Okay, I'll work on that for next weekend. Right. Wait, next weekend we have the time change. I can't do more than that.
So
I've already got something going.
No, that's the perfect excuse. Sorry, I didn't check my email. I was too busy changing my clocks.
Okay, because normally that's when there is a problem.
RadioU.com/regift if you want to find out more about all this jazz.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
Anytime you're taking a flight, there's a good chance that somebody on the plane is just going to be way too loud and obnoxious, right?
You're going to have something.
Now, there's a chance that that's
Hopefully
Isaiah.
It's not him.
Yeah, it could totally be him. But if he's listening, if he gets to hear the show today before his flight back, I've got a little trick in case somebody else might be the loud and obnoxious one. This is going around on TikTok from someone named Sam Dean, who she says it's the perfect scam to get people to quiet down no matter anywhere out in public, like a hotel.
Say like a restaurant.
Maybe.
On an airplane.
Yeah, the ultimate way that will work without fail to get people to shut up.
Now, this seems more like if they're just overly loud, obnoxious, but not like losing it sort of loud. Mm-hmm. Like it's kind of different. So if they're on a plane and having a meltdown, I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's nothing you can do except get out the duct tape in that
and
instance.
Strap them down.
But if they're just like yucking it up, drinking a little too much, having a good time, whatever, what you say to them is, hey, listen, I'm sorry, but could you please quiet down? I have to wake up early for a funeral tomorrow.
Oh, that's adding that layer in. Oh, you could use that for anything.
I know you could, right? That's what people are saying in the comments is...
It's the funeral part.
You bring a funeral into the equation, and what is anybody going to say?
That is fantastic because it diffuses. Because if you ask someone to be quiet, they might get really agitated back at you.
Right.
But if you have the funeral aspect in there, then they should know better.
What are they going to do? How are you going to argue with that?
I know.
You're messing with somebody who's grieving at that point, and as bad as we all are as people, we're not that bad. Most of us have a line, and that's probably where it's drawn. Now, some people were saying, again, because, it's TikTok, it's gone viral. There's a lot of comments. Some people are saying you could use this, like, try to use it to shut down if somebody's, like, hitting on you.
Oh, sure. You could use this for anything.
But I don't know if you're a girl.
You want to meet? You, like, have a meeting at work? I can't. I'm
funeral.
Sorry. Funeral.
Yeah. I mean, it's better with random people than people you know, because people you know are going to start to ask questions, and you can't just be funeral guy where how do you have a funeral like once a month? What is going on with your friends and your family? But you can use it for a lot. But the other thing is, I think, like, if you're trying to, again, you can bring the funeral thing in it. It changes the whole vibe of any conversation. But I would caution women against trying to use this as an excuse to get met. Like, if some guy comes up, unwanted advances, hey, whatever, can I get your number? What, follow you on Instagram, whatever. And you go, sorry, I'm not in the right space right now. I have a funeral coming up. They're going to start to, like, see that as an opening of, oh, do you need some consoling?
Oh, prying even more.
Come here. Let me give you a hug.
Nope. And you don't want to say coming up. You want to say tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
very
it's
early.
got to be. Yes, exactly.
Well, that's one to file for if needed later.
If you use that wisely, judiciously, I think it can go a long way for you.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Good advice from Sam Dean on TikTok. So I like that. Next time you got a trip and people are just getting on your nerves. Sorry, I've got a funeral tomorrow morning.
Do you mind quieting down?
Do you mind? Keep it down. I've got to grieve.
Even try crying.
Yeah.
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Isaiah's off today. It's his day off. He's making a return trip back from Seattle, and that worries me because he's probably going to be so gassed after all the, a trip with friends, staying up late, time
not that
change.
Type of gas? No.
Yeah.
Okay. You mean excited?
Long trip. Yeah, jet lagged. I think he's going to miss. He missed The Bachelor last week. I'm sure he caught up eventually. But there's no way he's staying up and watching The Bachelor tonight.
Okay. Oh, yeah, and he usually watches with friends.
Yeah, so we've got to, one of us is going to have to fill in and catch The Bachelor. That's part of the job today. With
Tonight?
him being out. Yeah.
Oh, if you want to, okay, great.
I was hoping you would.
No, you brought it up.
Well, yeah, but the Oscars are less than a week away, and I've still got some movies to watch for him.
That's not your excuse for tonight.
That's my job, because otherwise next Monday we'll come into the Oscars, and even Friday we'll be previewing the Oscars, and we won't have nobody else is watching the Oscar movies. Would you like to watch Oscar movies?
No, I don't want to watch anything.
Okay, then I'll watch the Oscar movies. You watch The Bachelor.
No, how about I'll catch up tomorrow on any clips in case it was important. No, we don't need to do. No one wants to know.
You need to at least read enough to pretend like you watched it.
Okay, that I can do.
Okay. All right, that's your job.
If not, you guys listening, I need one of you to volunteer as a Bachelor person tonight, and we might need you to also fill in as the Oscar movie person.
To call in?
Yeah, you could text in like your thoughts on it.
But then that's still you reading somebody else's summary.
I'd be happy to do that.
Or we could just have Isaiah still do it. And stay
Okay.
up late. All right. Let's talk about, did you see over the weekend, it was UFC 285. John Bones Jones made his return to the octagon and got the win, but that was not the biggest story from the UFC event.
I wonder if all the fighters were annoyed because all the talk was about Jake Gyllenhaal after and not even their stuff.
They got overshadowed by a fake fight. Jake Gyllenhaal filming a scene for his new movie Roadhouse, which is is that a remake of the Patrick Swayze thing?
I wonder if it is.
I mean, how do you call a movie Roadhouse? And he's fighting. It's got to be, right? So, but I didn't know that they did this. So Jake Gyllenhaal, during the UFC event, partway through, Jake Gyllenhaal filmed a fight with some other guy that's clearly supposed to be a scene for the movie, where, he even got an introduction from Bruce Buffer, and he was getting fake beat up and then fake beats up the other guy. He even pushed the referee off of him. Spoiler alert for the movie. He really hates this guy.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that they did that. And so if you were at this UFC event, or if you watch the videos that have been going around all over social media, you get to see a preview of Roadhouse. You also get to see how jacked
He is.
Jake Gyllenhaal is.
He is. I saw mostly, they were just showing like his weigh-in a lot. And then afterwards, finally actual footage from the fight scenes for some of the movie were starting to come out because they said, hey, the problem was everybody who was there for the UFC stuff had their phones.
Right.
So they were able to just record what they were filming for the movie, and they were just curious if any of it would spoil because you could see some pivotal parts to it.
I wonder, now that I think about it, maybe this is not going to be in the movie at all.
No. Well, I mean, they said it is.
They say it is, but
Is this to throw
maybe
people
it'll
off?
happen to be a deleted scene because you don't want this going all out everywhere. Like, you could have told people to sign stuff or whatever. You know what I mean?
Maybe they just don't care.
But this is promotion for the movie because you can recreate, like they could film fight scenes that seem like they have a real UFC fan base and seem like they're really in an actual octagon, whatever.
Oh, so this is just like pre-promotion?
Yeah, so this is just really getting it out there, especially for the UFC fans. Hey, we've got a movie coming your way with Jake Gyllenhaal. You think that could be it?
Could be a little bit of both. They say Roadhouse will be out later this year. It does have Conor McGregor in it as well.
Yeah.
And he is not Conor McGregor. I'm sure he is. But Jake Gyllenhaal, because he was in another boxing movie, wasn't he?
Yeah, that one didn't do as well.
But
Was it
like he was
Southpaw or something like that.
He was very built for
I
that
shouldn't have
one.
been able to remember that. I never saw the movie, and I don't think it was good.
And
but
they
for
say
some
he's
reason,
even more built for this one.
yeah, he looks good. I thought he was older, but he's only 42. But still, he looks good for 42. He looks good for any age.
He looks good.
Yeah.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Let's talk about Girl Scout cookies. Nikki, stop me if this sounds familiar. Girl Scout cookies season has begun.
Yeah, I've seen him everywhere.
And we may be having a difficult time getting our Girl Scout cookies due to supply chain issues.
Oh, really? Are we low on cookies?
Yeah, apparently. That's what the Girl Scouts are telling us anyway.
So are they trying to create a demand?
That's what it seems like to me because I've been to Walmart in the past week or two. I've seen them. They don't seem to be running low to me.
Hey, I don't know if it was just during COVID. Obviously, they took a few years off from it, but I have seen a renewed vigor from just tables being set up at every place. And then there's
multiple.
Like lots of people there trying to sell the cookies.
Yeah. You could not go in and out of my local Walmart without the Girl Scouts letting their presence be known. They were definitely out and about in the past couple weekends. And that said, though, according to Little Brownie Bakers, that is the company.
Don't tell me that is a vlog or a blog for Girl Scout Cookie News. Is that it?
No, that name was already taken by the company that makes Girl Scout cookies. And they went back all the way in December saying that they had unforeseen supply chain issues that are affecting their production and distribution of. Now, it's not all the cookies, so maybe this is the secret. It's particularly in regards to the Toffee-tastic.
Oh, that sounds good. I love toffee.
And Samoas.
They also
which
say,
I know are a big hit for people.
So this place, the bakers that do these cookies, you could also get some problems with the Samoas, the Thin Mints, but then there's another distributor who does all the other cookie flavors, and those seem fine.
But it seems specifically to be Toffee-tastic and Samoa are the ones that they really are afraid of running low on. And I know the Samoas are big.
Are those big?
You think that's their top seller?
No, I think Thin Mints
Thin
are.
Mints? Yeah, Thin Mints are better. But the people that like Samoas really like them.
And they say the LBB, the Little Brownie Baker Company, if you don't know this, for a lot of companies, they have distribution, but different regions. So they say that this region is being affected by the shortage. So you might be in an area that's just fine. You might have no issues with the tag-alongs or whatever.
Yeah.
But they do say that.
So maybe
especially
that's us then.
Online ordering has caused a problem because they're pushing that, and that has led to less cookies to go out to physical places.
So they're making too much money is the problem.
Yeah,
is what
that's
it sounds like to me. Well, you could do this. You could. Maybe this is the best of the both worlds. Maybe you want to support the Girl Scouts and you don't want to eat way too many cookies and they're not good for you.
Are you supposed to donate?
Yeah,
or?
you just don't make a tax-deductible donation to the Girl Scouts.
I don't know about that. I think I'd want cookies back.
Then the girls can be happy, and you don't have to worry about your thighs.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I see what you're saying.
It is an option. You don't always have to get something in return besides the feeling of doing something for somebody else.
No, I think they're just pushing, just get a different box of different type of cookies. But they say most are fine. It's just a shortage in some areas.
Yeah, well, you've been warned at least. You might have to eschew the Samoas this year.
It's hard. They've been
tough.
everywhere with the Girl Scouts and you can't make eye contact. You got to rush in.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
It's unfortunate that in the NBA, we're getting towards the playoff push. It's exciting, but the top story in the league right now is nothing on the court. It is Ja Morant. Nikki, have you seen anything about this guy?
So is he the Grizzlies guy?
He's from the Grizzlies, the Memphis Grizzlies. He is their star point guard. He had a big breakout season last year. One of the most exciting players in the league. The problem is he's been having some problems off the court as well.
Seems like that happens with all basketball players.
This is definitely at another level, though. For most basketball players, there's no guns involved.
Okay.
Ja Morant is in some hot water right now. He's been suspended at least 2 games, but it sounds like this is kind of an indefinite situation.
Indefinitely not playing, you mean?
He will not be playing at least 2 games, but probably for a while. And that is because his most recent altercation is he was seen on Instagram in a video where he was basically threatening somebody outside a club with a gun.
They say an altercation with a teenager.
Yeah. No, that's separate.
Oh, that's a different one?
That's a different one.
How many does he have?
There's at least 2. And then that he's allegedly, one of them is him on Instagram with a gun, waving a gun, threatening somebody.
There's
and
that
then
one.
There's the teenager situation, also, again, waving a gun.
And punching someone.
Yeah.
And then they say he's been banned, or his entourage has been banned, because at a number of the NBA games, they would threaten Indiana Pacers security staff.
Yeah, so this is getting...
Well, he is angry.
It's getting real out of hand, and it's so weird because, he's one of the best players in the league. He's making plenty of money, and
why does he have a gun all the time?
There's just no reason for it, right? I don't understand what is going through his mind, and he's just obviously he's gotten in with some kind of bad crowd where, if that's his entourage is also getting banned from games. He's got some questionable friends, and it's just not going in the right direction for him. So he's got to get this sorted out.
They say that his reputation as a basketball player is just done with,
Mm-hmm.
and it'd be very hard to be able to trust him again.
It's too bad because the team is real good. He's really good. And it's, just a lot of potential there.
Well, I was going to say, a lot of times you say, well, hey, get your crew together to get him out of where he's going and having these problems. But if they're also bad apples,
right,
then they're all going to have a problem.
You would hope that, and I'm sure many other players on the Memphis Grizzlies and a part of that organization have tried to step in the way of this, you would think. But when you've got also an entourage that's probably pushing back against that, and it's just, 2 forces colliding, and he's currently in the wrong side of things. But you would hope that you would see, when you're getting suspended, when you're possibly, you're putting your career in jeopardy.
If he's too puffed up, or if he's just too much, you just can't come back sometimes. He's too gone.
He's going to turn it around.
How many other basketball players? It doesn't.
It's a lot of money. You can't leave all that money.
Listen,
I don't care what other stuff he's involved in. It can't be as good as being an NBA star.
We said this before about football players. He needs some more no people in his life.
He does.
He needs some guys that are saying, no, we're not going to do that, and no, you may not have that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he needs to listen to them.
Yeah, starting with maybe just
don't hit
up the clubs. Keep the guns away. Maybe just have a nice quiet weekend in every once in a while.
Stop talking to people.
Yeah, you need to chill out. Focus on basketball too, because you've got some big games coming up if you're allowed to play in them, if you can get things sorted out here. So, man, it is sad. It's just really sad at the end of the day that everybody loved this guy last year, having a great season, and now he's a few steps away from just throwing it completely all away.
You know what I would never want to be?
What's that?
The one people who have to do the control situations for professional athletes.
Uh-huh.
You know, they get the call when there's the altercation.
Yeah.
And have to make it work.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person.
You have to do the PR and stuff like that.
That's it. I don't want that.
That would not be good.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
It's time for our Monday tradition, the box office breakdown, where we made an egregious error on Friday when we had our weekend watch list. We didn't make a prediction of how much money Creed 3 would make in its first week in theaters.
I haven't looked, or did you look, I assume?
I do know, yeah.
Okay.
One of us has to.
You want me to guess?
Yeah, go ahead. How much do you think it made?
Maybe 40 million?
40 million.
40 million?
It made $58 million.
Hey, that's pretty good.
A real good weekend in March for an opening weekend for Creed 3. $58 million. I think, don't quote me on this, but I believe I saw somewhere that it made enough money internationally to already be over the $100 million mark worldwide. That's pretty good.
I heard some back and forth on it over the weekend. A lot of people were still pushing it, and it was just depends on if whatever your style is, like if you'd like it or not.
Yeah, maybe I do hope to one day watch all 9 Rocky/Creed movies.
You have a long weekend planned if you want to go through all that.
I have a long way to go.
Good for you.
So that had a pretty good weekend in at number 1. If you saw it, let us know. 8772 Radio U. But not coming in second place, Ant-Man and the Wasp, holding strong.
No, that's not the right word.
$12 million.
That's down
in second
61%.
It's now up to $186 million in North America. So it's funny how the expectations are different. $58 million in one weekend for Creed feels good. Ant-Man and the Wasp in 3 weeks has made, $186 million. Not good enough.
Well, I think they were expecting still that to have some much stronger numbers.
Yeah. Number 3 was Cocaine Bear. That made $11 million. Then number 4, if you saw this, let us know. Because we won't. Demon Slayer, something. Anime made $10 million in its opening weekend.
That's actually a pretty good haul for that.
And Jesus Revolution was 5th again at with another $8 million. And the other new movie we talked about that opened in theaters was Operation Fortune Ruse de Guerre from Guy Ritchie, and that only made $3 million.
Ooh, that one's not so good. Well, Creed 3 did well then. That's good enough.
Good weekend for Creed 3, and it kind of sucked up all the money that any other movie could make. Now, did you watch anything this weekend?
Nothing worth mentioning.
Nothing
no one would have even wanted to watch.
Me neither, but I'm going to mention them anyways.
Okay.
I watched Babylon for the Oscars, also All Quiet on the Western Front, both okay. All Quiet on the Western Front, if you like war movies, you might like that. I've also taken to watching the animated shorts that are up for the Oscars.
Oh, see, Hudson likes the Oscars, so we're at this season where he'll watch all the main stuff going into it.
Not just main stuff, animated shorts.
Okay, well, that's main too for someone.
Yeah, and I got to tell you about one. It's called The Flying Sailor.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the Halifax explosion from 1917?
No.
It happened in Canada, Halifax. 2 ships collided. 1,782 people died. And this cartoon, this animated short, shows the story of one man, true story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sailor who got blown, was near the explosion and got thrown in the air, landed, I don't know how many miles they say in the thing, but how many miles away he landed and survived. In the short, it just shows the 2 ships, it's animated, shows the 2 ships colliding, and then it shows him flying through the air, some other stuff.
I'm watching it now. Is this
You're
it?
watching?
I'm
yeah,
watching
but he gets naked, Nikki. No,
what?
no.
Don't watch it.
His clothes come off. His clothes come off.
I won't look.
You get full on old sailor,
naked,
everything flying through the air.
Thanks for warning me.
That's why I needed to tell you. It's educational, kind of, but
Hudson,
it also, you could have just seen the end where it says this actually happened. You don't need to see him naked flying through the air.
Hudson, maybe start with that first. Just tell me that ahead of time.
I had to give you the context. I had to give you the context.
I just Googled it and it started playing. Just a short.
Well, it takes like 30 seconds before the explosion
All right,
happens.
I'm safe.
And then in the explosion, his clothes get blown off.
I've scrolled away.
I don't know if that's true or not. Did he land naked miles away? But why would you draw this guy naked if that didn't actually happen?
I don't know.
But
okay, I'm clicking out. I don't want to accidentally see anything.
I don't think that one's going to win the Oscar for Best Animated
That's
Short.
a weird one.
It's a long shot, but it's educational.
Okay.
Because you didn't know about the Halifax explosion.
Didn't know about any of that.
Massive loss of life.
Woo, that could have been a really bad morning.
What changed your day?
Thanks for warning me.
This is the Riot Radio U.
But I got a question for you. If you want to text in at 8772 Radio U. If you were going to buy an annual subscription to a restaurant, a fast food restaurant.
Oh, a restaurant?
You're going to pay, let's just say $120 up front.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, you got to go to this restaurant enough to make that $120 worth it, fast food wise, in a year. Which restaurant would you choose?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're all just mad at every fast food place for like one reason, or one place is just not perfect enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, I assume most of us would probably pick McDonald's just based on that's normally where a lot of people I feel go the most.
Yeah.
Even if you hate something about it.
But I think
Arby's.
Arby's is the one I thought of because I think McDonald's, I feel like for $120, I could get a lot of bang for my buck with food over the course of a year before I spend $120.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm definitely going to go to McDonald's a ton. With Arby's, if it's $120, I feel like
you can get to that amount pretty quick.
You could get more than your money's worth by eating there just a few times.
Or like, say you picked, Cane's or something. Like that's nothing.
Yeah,
it's gonna be more
price wise. But then it's like how many, because Cane's only has one thing on the menu. How often you're going to keep going back before you get tired of it? But here's why I bring it up. And it's not exactly the same, but Panera, they've already been doing their unlimited sip club before.
Oh, their drink thing.
Yeah, where you can buy a drink subscription, but they're now offering you the opportunity to get a discount if you buy up front a annual pass, which is $119.99.
Gosh, it sounds so expensive when you just say it like that. Even though I know, take it monthly and it's not so bad.
If you break it down by month, that would be $10 a month. Whereas if you actually bought the monthly version of the Unlimited Sip Club, that's $11.99.
That means they want more people to join.
So that's what is that? A $24 savings over the course of a year?
Yeah.
But this is what you get if you aren't familiar with the Unlimited Sip Club. It's basically all of their self-serve drinks. So coffee, both hot and iced, hot tea, iced tea and lemonade, fountain soda, which supposedly, I've never experienced this, but supposedly includes ginger ale.
Ooh.
I've never seen that.
There's a Canada Dry ale.
Yeah. And then charged lemonade, which is their, I think it's caffeinated, and then it's got special stuff in it.
You have to go in, though? I know our Paneras have drive-thrus.
So, yeah, I think if you go through the drive-thru and you flash your Sip
membership
Club card, yeah, what are they going to do?
Well, I don't know.
They're going to give you a drink?
They want you to come in, but I don't want to go in.
No. I mean, if you can't use your Sip Club membership through the drive-thru, then it's really worthless, isn't it?
Well, I think so, but it just depends. I know a lot of people, what was it? We used to take bands to one of the Paneras near us, and they always liked, it's some sort of green tea thing.
Their green tea was not bad.
But it was always the one that has a lot of stuff in it. It's not just like green tea. It's got a lot of
ginseng and it's loaded with antioxidants and vitamins and minerals and stuff like that. So I don't know. I was trying to think $120. Oh, how about Sean? Sean texted and said Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
You say I'm gonna guarantee I'm coming to Chick-fil-A enough to get $120 worth over the course of the year.
See, I go through waves with Chick-fil-A. I'm not in a current wave, but Grace said Wendy's. That's a good choice, too.
Wendy's. That's another one where, well, you know what? The price of Wendy's has gone up. So I feel like I'm not getting as much of a deal when I go there anymore, which means $120. I wouldn't have to go there as much to feel like I got a deal.
See, I used to be all into, okay, fine, buy the year membership. You're saving like $10, $20.
Yeah.
But I did that once with a online subscription thing for an app. And then the app closed down and everybody was mad because they weren't going to refund.
Yeah.
For the people that had already paid for the year, you were just out.
Wait, which place was that?
It was just, it's rather not be brought up. It was just... It's just a lot of
How can you do this? This is Chekhov's subscription, Nikki.
I know. So I just
let's
remember.
just say it was MoviePass.
Everybody
that's
was
what happened with that.
Extremely upset. So it taught a lot of people that, yeah, you might be saving 10 or 20 bucks, but if they, pull the SIP club and you're out, you already paid, it's a pain to get your money back.
Well, you've got to be like Dave and go through. He says he went through the Panera drive-thru already today for a SIP club. He hits it twice a day.
Well, he's using it then.
Yeah, he'll get his money's worth in about a month, it sounds like. But a good question. Also, Aaron says Chipotle. You could get your $120 worth pretty quickly there, couldn't you?
You could. It's expensive.
I don't want to give these restaurants these ideas, though. I feel like I wind up spending even more on fast food somehow.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
I hate to do this to you, Nikki. Sometimes I'll ask you or Isaiah questions, and I know you're going to say the wrong thing.
So you're just baiting me?
Yeah.
All right, get ready.
And then I'll get mad at you guys. This one, I'm not even going to be mad at you because what you're going to answer is actually what should be right. But what do you call somebody that runs a restaurant?
A restaurateur?
No, wrong. I hate to do this to you, but you're wrong.
Fine.
It's not a restaurateur.
Well, I would think it would be.
You would. That's what everybody thinks. But I learned.
A franchise owner?
No. You're close. It's restaurateur.
No.
There's no N in restaurateur.
Okay.
Even though I just said it like there is.
So restaurateur?
It's restaurateur.
Restaurateur.
Yeah. Doesn't
like
that
rest assured?
Sure, if that helps you remember it.
It gets me closer to it.
Yeah, that's a good device, I guess. Isn't that mess with you though? That you why would it not be
the other way around?
What we've all thought this whole time.
Well, who's telling us it's one way?
I just saw it on Twitter, and then I did some research because I was like, that's something so crazy that you would only tweet if it's true.
Sure.
And so then you start Googling. If you type in restaurateur, what will come up is restaurateur.
I just can't.
I know. Why
I don't care if I'm wrong. It doesn't matter.
I know. This is what I was thinking of. Are there any things that you learn and you know that they're wrong when you learn them?
And you just don't care?
And you're rejecting what you've learned.
I'm sure there's something. I just would need time to think about it. Or I would need other examples and be like, yes, the Reese's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that.
You believe that's wrong.
Well, I don't care.
You just don't care.
I just don't care.
No matter how many times you're told you're wrong.
No matter how many times you might correct me, I'll still call them Reese's Pieces.
I just don't think people should even correct you on. I mean, I guess kind of they haven't, but I don't think people should. I think we should be correcting people that say restaurateur because that's dumb. It doesn't make sense. And there's a lot of other grammar things like that drive me crazy. But this is the newest one and now it's going to bother me because it's like when you learn in TV shows and movies that the coffee cups are empty and then you can never stop seeing them just waving the coffee cups around with reckless abandon as they're clearly empty. Every time I think of restaurants, people running restaurants, watching shows about restaurants. Is this going to
bother you?
It's going to bother me. Either way, because if they say restaurateur in a show, then I'm going to be like, well, that's wrong. But if they say restaurateur, I'm also going to be like, well, technically correct, but also wrong.
Okay. Listen, Hudson, you just got to not care enough about it. And how often does that word pop up?
Well, you start watching Restaurant Impossible and Hell's Kitchen, and it seemingly comes up pretty often, doesn't it?
All right, I guess if you're doing all that.
Next Level Chef, one of the most popular shows on TV right now. They probably say restaurateur once an episode.
And they're saying it wrong.
Either way. No matter what they say, they're saying it wrong.
So do you think it's good
That's the worst of all.
Now you've passed along that pain that you feel, that it's wrong, and now you've shared that with the rest of us that are listening, and you've just passed it along to us like an infection or a virus?
I think it's one of those things where if I have to be burdened with this information, so does everyone else.
Okay, all right,
so
you're fine
does
with
everyone
it.
else. What about a good one from Nicole, that they're double stuff Oreos with one F?
Oh, yeah.
It's not in the past tense. They haven't been stuffed.
You're right.
They have twice as much stuff.
Nicole, we don't care either. We're just saying double stuffed.
That one doesn't bother me as much.
It doesn't?
But let's see. Aaron says, I will 100% correct someone who says sherbet instead of sherbet.
Sherbet. Mm-hmm.
I'm still, you know what, Aaron? I'm on the fence about which one of those is actually even right. So That's another one. I think you can get away with either.
Normally, I ask for you guys to text in your examples, but I don't
You
want
don't
you
even
to
wanna know?
because I don't want him upset about more of these. So I would like Hudson to have a nice Monday, and I don't need all the drama.
It's already ruined my weekend. I don't need more things ruining the rest of my week.
I can feel like the tension.
More new things I could learn that will bother me.
Okay, so no one else tell any other ones.
Ignorance is bliss. Probably going to learn that's not actually a saying.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
I've got an opportunity for somebody out there, somebody that wants to gamble and doesn't want to lose any money.
Oh,
yeah.
Don't tempt people.
It's tempting, isn't it? If you could go on a all expenses paid trip to Vegas and get paid $1,000. You got basically $1,000 free to play blackjack, and then $1,000 just because you're getting paid to do this, and it's all to be a blackjack tester.
Ooh, what's that?
Not
a dealer, but a tester?
You're not a dealer. This is from a company in Canada called Bonus Finder, where they're looking for somebody to go ahead and hit some of the main casinos there: Caesar's Palace, MGM Grand, Bellagio, Golden Nugget, Circus, Mandalay Bay, the Venetian, and the Palazzo. You got to play a lot of blackjack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long $1,000 of blackjack, that feels like to go to all those different places. You're not going to get very many hands for $1,000, but
maybe if you keep winning.
Yeah, that's right.
They expect you to win something.
That's right. But you go, you play some blackjack at each of those casinos on your 3-day trip. You and one guest that you get to bring with you. And then you're going to get some classes from a blackjack expert so that you know what you're getting into on this whole thing. A guy named Richard Marcus is going to try to teach you how to...
Before you go play?
Yeah, I would hope.
So is this to promote, like in Canada, to say, oh, is it worth you going to Vegas to go gamble?
Maybe.
Like, what's your chances?
Yeah, I think it's trying to give people an idea of which...
Your odds.
Yeah, your odds and which place would be, if you were to go play, which places have a better experience than others.
Well, I'll take a 3-day trip.
Yeah, 3-day trip to Vegas.
So you get $1,000, half for the casino floor, and then you get another $1,000 for services evaluating the best blackjack tables. Does that mean like restaurants or?
I think it's I think you have to. I don't know.
I'm using it for restaurants.
You're
Hudson.
using it for
I'm using it
whatever
for
you want.
Okay, I want to go eat in
If you
Vegas.
want to go eat at Nobu or Hell's Kitchen, go for it with your $1,000. See how far it gets you. But it doesn't sound like that bad of a deal. The problem is, I guess I shouldn't have brought it all up because it's only for people over 21 in Canada.
Hey, you can still count. I mean, you're born there.
That's right.
You still have a passport or long gone?
You think they require a passport?
I don't know. Or a Canadian one, sure.
To prove that I'm Canadian?
Yeah, if you're in Canada,
if I just
you'd
have a Canadian address.
No, you'd have a Canadian passport. Like you'd have to. Are you still counted as Canadian?
That's always an interesting question.
Okay.
Because when you become an American citizen, like I have, I'm not here illegally. Then
you have dual.
You have to denounce all loyalty to other countries, which I did.
So you don't have.
Despite how it may sound,
okay.
I definitely yes. In case anybody from the government is asking, I denounce all loyalty to Canada. And
so you're not winning this.
But Canada, if I go back, they might feel like there's a big gap in my resume, but I don't think they'd. I'm still born there, so maybe they take me back.
Well, I wasn't sure if
without
you were
too much trouble.
If you were eligible for this application.
I think if I just give them a Canadian address and I still have family that lives there, I'd just be like, hey,
they won't question it.
Hey, Grandpa, could I use your? Hopefully they don't look into that he lives in an assisted living place or something like that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, hopefully they don't take that into account.
So this is all in honor of National Blackjack Day, which was on March 2nd, but the applicants are open and able to apply until March 17th.
All right, well, best of luck.
And your grandfather will be contacted by March 22nd.
Yeah.
If you win.
The Riot Radio U.
Plan. You know what's coming up, Nikki? Can you believe this hasn't happened yet? King Charles's coronation.
Oh, yeah. Is it May?
Is that when it is?
I think.
I was trying to see. I don't even know.
I feel like that's just in my brain from reading an article somewhere, but maybe I'm wrong.
You were right.
They have to wait so long after, the queen passed away.
May 6th is when he will be having the coronation ceremony. And one of the things you need for a coronation ceremony in the UK is holy anointing oil.
Okay.
And King Charles III's holy anointing oil is going to be a little different than oil of the past that was used on different kings and queens in the UK. His anointing oil will be animal cruelty free.
Okay.
Which means that unlike some oils in the past, they call it chrism oil. It will not include the oil from glands of small mammals like civets. Okay.
I didn't know that's what they were doing.
They used to do that, yeah.
Ew.
With those cats.
Gross.
Yeah, they used to take that. Or ambergris. You know what that is?
No.
You didn't learn about ambergris?
No.
You obviously don't watch Bob's Burgers.
No, I do not.
Ambergris is a waxy substance from the intestines of sperm whales. They use it in like perfume and stuff.
Oh, well, I choose not to focus on that stuff. I'm sure I glanced past it.
You probably just get the perfume, the cheap perfume with the fake ambergris in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the artificial stuff they make in the lab somewhere.
I didn't know the holy anointing oil was full of animal stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why they thought that stuff was necessary, and that's just some of the things they put in it. But in this case,
maybe they put more stuff in it that at the time when they started doing that was supposed to be like expensive.
Yeah. Oh, ambergris definitely expensive.
Like your anointing oil for the king would be different than an everyday person's anointing oil.
That's right. Or maybe it just seems odds that are against it, but maybe it just smells really good.
Could be.
The ambergris. I don't know. But they're leaving all that stuff out. Now, the holy anointing oil, the chrism oil.
It's going to have olive oil. No, just teasing.
It actually is. It is olive oil. It is primarily olive oil, predominantly olive oil.
That's the only thing I could think that was like cruelty-free and just mass quantities.
Yeah, that's what they're using. They use that. The oil was made in a ceremony in Jerusalem on Friday. So it's predominantly olive oil. It will also include a mixture of rose, jasmine, cinnamon, orange blossom, and sesame.
Ooh,
that sounds pretty nice. That does, doesn't it?
Okay.
And no animals involved. No animals were harmed in the anointing of the oil for King Charles III.
There's more to this oil.
What do you mean?
So the olives and stuff used for royal oil are harvested from the burial site of the king's grandmother, Princess Alice.
Oh, wow.
So
they planted olives there?
Yeah, there's olives there.
Why'd they do that?
Well, I mean,
I guess
maybe for the oil.
An oil ceremony.
It could be. Well, it's just where she's in Jerusalem herself. That's where she has been laid to rest.
It's crazy. We should pay close attention to this, because neither of us were alive the last time there was a coronation.
Yeah.
So it's
I feel like I've seen enough. I've watched a lot of Prince
What did
movies.
you watch, The Crown or something?
No, I just seen a lot of,
But it's different. This is real life.
I've seen Princess Diaries. No.
Okay, that counts.
I feel like I'm fully prepared for what his might be.
Yeah, and it doesn't
like.
feel the same when it's a king instead of like a princess being crowned queen, does it? Well,
May 6th.
May 6th. Mark your calendar.
Thanks for watching the worst of the Riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more Riot.